Welcome to LFC Transfer HQ, your ultimate source for all things Liverpool FC transfers. Like and subscribe for more football updates. Our first news is Liverpool make bombshell move, with offer prepared for next top target, amid key Romano update. According to reports, Liverpool have made a bombshell move, as they look to sign Newcastle United star Alexander Isak, who is their next top target. Liverpool have moved quickly to acquire their top summer targets, with their summer spend to reach around £170 million once Milos Kerkez joins Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong and Armin Pexey in signing for the Premier League giants this week. These deals make the Reds this summer's biggest spenders in Europe so far, but they are far from finished and could still make a few more key signings. With Arne Slot's side set to sell Jarell Quansah to Bayer Leverkusen, they are expected to sign a new centre-back and are reportedly pursuing Crystal Palace standout Mark Guéhi, who is about to enter the final year of his contract. The Reds are also on the lookout for a new striker, with all indications suggesting Darwin Núñez is certain to leave during this summer's window. Núñez has failed to live up to expectations following his £64 million move to Liverpool from Benfica, and they need a quality upgrade on the Uruguay international. Liverpool are linked with several options, including Hugo Ekitike and Victor Osimhen, but Isak has become their next top target as they plot an audacious raid on Newcastle United. During the 2024-25 campaign, Isak put his injury issues behind him to cement himself as one of the best strikers in the world, grabbing 27 goals and 6 assists in 42 appearances for Newcastle in all competitions. The Magpies are under less pressure to sell valuable assets this summer than during the 2024 window, as they feared breaching the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. This means they can afford to play hardball over Isak's valuation, which will be huge as he remains under contract until 2028. A recent report claimed Isak could cost as much as £200 million this summer, but Liverpool seem intent on at least trying to sign the Newcastle standout. A report from Spanish outlet Fichajes claims the Reds are preparing another bombshell transfer after Wirtz and have made an ambitious move for Isak. Liverpool are said to be preparing an offer worth €120 million, around £102.5 million, for Isak, which will presumably need to be increased if they are to have any hope of signing him this summer. Transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has already poured cold water on reports linking Isak to Liverpool, as this is a very difficult deal. He said, "Liverpool would try to go for Isak, if he became available, but at the moment I don't have this feeling. The club too, from what I'm hearing, see it as a very, very difficult deal." Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC news. Our second news is Liverpool learn whether they can sign PSG's Bradley Barcola after preparing £100 million offer. Liverpool could have an attacking overhaul this summer and will likely need to find replacements. The Reds' attack is one to be feared. Although they do not have a settled front three like in previous years, the depth they now have is frightening. All versatile and interchangeable, it is only Mohamed Salah who is a nailed-on starter, giving Arne Slot's side that unpredictable edge on opponents. However, having high-quality talent can come at great cost, and some of Liverpool's best players could be poached by many European giants who are interested. With Barcelona interested in Luis Diaz, that would likely open up a vacancy for a new winger, and PSG's Bradley Barcola was a name being linked. As always, many fans wait for Fabrizio Romano's updates to gauge whether Liverpool may actually sign a player, and his recent update will likely give the clearest indication they need. PSG have no plan to sell Bradley Barcola this summer. Everyone knows that attackers cost the most money as they win you games of football, but the price it will cost teams in today's market is quite staggering. Just a few weeks ago, The Guardian reported that Liverpool were willing to spend £100 million to sign Barcola from the French giants, suggesting the Reds still have plenty of cash to splash. However, Fabrizio Romano has now confirmed in his most recent update that PSG have no intention of selling their young star, and he is very much part of manager Luis Enrique's plans next season. Liverpool were interested in Barcola before he joined PSG, suggesting that this has not been a rumor out of the blue or a panic buy in case they lose Diaz. Barcola is highly rated in his home country and it would likely be seen as a shame if he were ever to depart the club, but with Enrique having so many quality options in that area of the pitch, it cannot be ruled out in the future. If he is to depart later down the line, best believe Liverpool will be somewhere among the long queue for his signature, but as for this summer, the 22-year-old is going nowhere. How do Luis Diaz and Bradley Barcola compare? Both Barcola and Diaz are very similar players, so it would have been a like-for-like switch. Although the Frenchman does have time on his side, the PSG winger has been more prolific in front of goal this season and has racked up 40 goal involvements during their treble-winning season, 15 more than the Colombian got. Granted, League may first not have the quality the Premier League does, but Barcola also showed the world what he was capable of en route to their Champions League win. This is something Liverpool know all too well, as Barcola shown for the French side when they knocked the Reds out of the competition, even though he failed to get on the scoresheet. Stay tuned for more updates on LFC Transfer HQ, transfer moves, player signings, and latest news. Don't miss subscribe for more LFC. Our last news is Arne Slot decides to sell second Liverpool centre-back after Jarell Quansah. Liverpool's centre-back options are likely to look a whole lot different come the start of the season. The Reds ended some speculation over their defence towards the end of the campaign by signing Virgil van Dijk to a new contract. However, Van Dijk aside, there are question marks over all three of Liverpool's other senior centre-backs. One of them is already virtually certain to leave, with Liverpool having struck an agreement with Bayer Leverkusen over the sale of Jarell Quansah on Sunday. Quansah's exit leaves Arne Slot with only Van Dijk, Ibrahima Konate and Joe Gomez as possibilities to play in the middle of his defence. Of course, there had been another option for Slot, with forgotten man Nat Phillips set to return from his loan spell at Derby County. But after impressing in the Championship, Phillips is now finally set to call time on his career with Liverpool and secure a permanent transfer. Nat Phillips set to join West Bromwich Albion. Having last played for Liverpool in January 2023, Phillips has long since been forgotten by many fans. However, the 28-year-old still has 1 year left on his deal at Anfield. Having spent each of the past 2 seasons away from the Reds, it has been clear for quite some time that his future lies elsewhere, and, thankfully, journalist John Percy has reported that Phillips is ready to complete a long-awaited permanent move, joining West Bromwich Albion. WBA are close to signing Liverpool centre-back Nat Phillips in a permanent deal, Percy reports on X. Phillips has 1 year left on his LFC contract and was on loan at Derby last season. West Brom's new head coach Ryan Mason working on other signings ahead of this week's return to pre-season. Phillips finally leaves Liverpool. Phillips will always be remembered fondly at Liverpool for the way he stepped up during the injury-plagued 2020-21 season. The former Bolton youngster barely put a foot wrong to help the Reds to an unlikely third-place finish and subsequently made 29 appearances. However, it has been clear right from the get-go that Phillips would not have a long-term future playing for Liverpool. It has taken a long while to get to this point, with the Reds often pricing Phillips out of a permanent transfer. But it is superb news that the defender will finally be able to go out and forge his career. Phillips did well in the Championship with Derby last year, and with West Brom usually up and around the playoff places, he could even be back in the Premier League before long. Thanks for watching. That's all for today's transfer update. But the transfer window never sleeps, and neither do we. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for the latest Liverpool FC transfer news, rumors, and confirmed deals. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update, because at LFC Transfer HQ, you'll never walk alone.